Hello, wild ones. It's Bernadette. I am here with your Scorpio tarot reading for January 2021. Oh, y'all. Oh, my fellow Scorpion brethren and sisterin. Sit down. It's gonna be a deep dive, and we're only in January, for crying out loud. Great googly moogly. All right, so let's just get right to it. So the card, the animal that wanted the tarot card, the oracle card, the spirit animal that came for us being a triple Scorpio, it came for us, y'all. It's the Komodo dragon. Now, when we take a look at what's going on, in the planets for Scorpio this January, there are several occasions, especially after the 18th, when the sun is in Aquarius and it's going to square the sign's ruling planet, our ruling planet, which is Mars, right? It's desperately trying to help us make headway into earthy Taurus, and then our sign's other co-ruling planet, Pluto, is also in the final degrees of Capricorn and forming a square with Mars. So you might feel a little, kind of say bipolarish, this month, and maybe even just a few days leading up to this month, because it's like that part of Scorpio that is just all, listen, the Scorpio's motto is I desire. And that's true. Scorpio wants what they want when they want it. And woe be to anything or anyone that stands in their way. Believe me, I know this. Again, triple Scorpio, right? So when we get into that, people mistake us. Like, yes, we're the most psychic sign of the zodiac. And yes, we can see things beyond the veil that other people can't see. And yes, it sets us apart from other people and causes all kinds of shenanigans throughout our lifetime. But really, if people knew Scorpio, and astrologers do, and people who, study the zodiac signs and whatnot do, we're only interested in one thing in life. One thing. And that is pure, lasting, honest, that Knights of the Round Table, loyal, committed love. That's it. That's all we want, is the perfect love. Love is our life. And any time anything or any situation doesn't feed us with love, or goes on the attack, or what we perceive as the attack to us, we attack it back. Now, the lower, the less awakened you are as a Scorpio, the more likely you're going to be to fling that stinger. As you ascend from a spiritual perspective, a maturity perspective, that kind of thing, they say the more elevated you are, because there are 3 other signs with Scorpio. I believe it, Lordy, I'm having a moment. Snake, something, and then eagle. So that, your ground level and base, and then you are, in the middle, and then when you ascend, you fly like an eagle, right? So when this month is rolling around, again, you might feel a little bipolar in that you just want to go on the attack a lot more than you have in a really long time. And that may lead I just did it. I'll tell you a story in just a second. It may compel you to speak impulsively, tell secrets that you shouldn't tell, because the power of secrets you're very aware of. And when Pluto passes by on the 4th, you might feel compelled to clear your conscience, some kind of cathartic release, things that you've needed to say but haven't. Try still to be discreet. Please, 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 please. Because when Mercury enters Aquarius, the impulse may trigger you to speak your mind without regard to the consequences. And this can cause friction and unexpected drama, especially later in the month as Mars is cozying up to Uranus and Taurus. And that's around the 18th, which creates an intense, really lightning bolt effect on your finances. And I told a story in the Libra video. I just refused to sell somebody an Arctic. I've never done, well, that's not true. I did once before. My Lord, I did not want my animals going to this old gal. I just did not. And they didn't want to go either. And they told me they didn't want to go. Although, aren't these the people that need the animal allies the most? Is these people that just live in torment and live to torment? But just last week, honestly, for the first time ever in my business, ever, I was just straight up, I said, you know what? you're a jackass, and I am not selling you my deck. I won't do it. You can't get it. No, I'm not doing it. And I don't appreciate, I just went, it was short, but I had a couple things to say. Y'all have never done that. But I had just had it. And I, like it just cracked me up when we, when we worked up the tarot reading, the Zodiac tarot readings, spirit scopes for this month, because I took a look at that and I was like, yeah, I did that. I waited and waited and waited, and I bit my tongue and bit my tongue and bit my tongue, and finally I went, whatever. I'm willing to take the hit karmically for whatever. And like I said, it was short. I was just like, this is what you're doing. This is what you're like. I'm not doing this. I don't care that you don't like it. Have a good day. And who knows, that person may leave a nasty, review online or whatever. But I shouldn't have done it. Not because of what it would mean for my business, potentially, or not, but because this person is obviously in pain. Obviously. I don't know if they didn't take their meds. I don't know if they just are the way they are. They could have just gotten some horrible news, but this person was relentless. Nothing I could do, nothing I would say. They just kept coming at me and coming at me and coming at me. And finally I was like, we're done. We're done here. But I'm better than that. You're better than that. You're more awakened than that. You're more enlightened than that. And Lord, I'm trying to be. So I'll probably call them back and go, hey, listen, I just want you to know. Because, I'm all about the apology. I'm all about the mea culpa mea. I do it all the time. Apologies probably, I apologize, or my apologies probably the third most words that I use. Hello, Hops. Sorry, the garden people just showed up and my dog's going buck wild. But what all this means for you with the dragon, and why I'm trying to bring some brevity into this, is this is a no joke. This is a no joke animal, spirit, totem, and power animal to show up for your January. No joke. First of all, it's a dragon. And anytime you bring dragon energy in, you're bringing snake energy in. And now you're bringing big giant snakes that can breathe fire and fly. And even though this is a Komodo dragon, it's a dragon. And in their culture, now also let me just point out this is not a tarot card. This is an oracle card. And that is an oracle card that is in my Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck, which is part tarot cards based on the Rider-Waite deck, and part oracle cards, where it's just about the spirit, totem, and power animal meanings, right? So when you take a look at this, the ancient wisdom and ancient occult knowledge and deep mysteries that dragons will bring in, Komodo dragons, they are ferocious animals, just ferocious. And they're big, y'all. They weigh like 150 pounds. They've got these powerful claws. Indonesians, where they're from, they treat them like gods. They will leave fruit out on their doorstep for them. And it is nothing to see. Now, I haven't been there, let's be clear, but what I read and what I see in videos, it's nothing for these dragons just to walk through these villages eating the fruit that the people leave out. They're like this and like this and like this to the dragons. And one of the things about them, they look terribly fierce, because they are, but they are, they've got a bite. And it used to be thought that it was actually the bite that would kill people. Oh no, no, they're not that merciful. There's a bacteria in their saliva, and when they bite, that bacteria gets it transfers from the saliva to the puncture wounds, and it gets into the person so that they get sick, and then they suffer, and then they die. And let's be honest, Scorpio, in your darkest moments, death is not good enough for some people. You want them to get sick, and you want them to suffer, and then after they've had enough of that, suffer a little more, and then let them have that sweet release of death. Come on now, be honest. Let's go to the shadow side, because that's the case. Now, having said that, let me say this. That sounds like a no bueno way to start off 2021. I disagree. I think that the reverence with which everyone could do well to hold the energy and medicine of any dragon or any snake in, because they are powerful. Powerful is the reminder to you of how powerful you are, and how, an astrologer friend of mine said to me, Bernadette, let me let you try to understand this. This is in my early days when my mouth was like a gunshot. It was like an arrow dagger to the heart. I didn't know. I didn't understand why if I said something, the world would fall apart. If another person said the exact same thing in the exact same way, people didn't pay him any kind of mind. And she tried to explain to me, I didn't get it then, but I got it later, that when a Scorpio speaks something like that, especially because we always know how to go for the jugular, always. Instinctually, we know what's going to be the most hurtful thing. That it reverberates through people's spirit into their very soul. And that's just the nature of the energetic, cosmic, zodiacal thing that is Scorpio. And I didn't realize that. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Now I get it. Now I understand, just by pure virtue of being a Scorpio, just by pure virtue of being a triple Scorpio, if I raise my eyebrow at somebody, somebody else could raise their eyebrow at somebody, but if I do it, they feel like they've been slapped across the face. So I had to really double down on watching what I put out there without losing my authenticity. But in the transition of that, in the metamorphosis of that, when I came to understand my own power, life got fun. Not because I manipulated it, not because I used it to my advantage, but because I knew my calling has always been to help people, other people self-actualize. It's always been my calling, always. And so whatever your calling is, whoever you want to be as a person, please take this moment, take this January, take this 2021, take this dang Komodo dragon, and for the first time maybe in your Scorpio life, maybe the first time in your Scorpio life, realize how powerful you are. And then do what a superhero does. Use it for good. Like I want to just drop the mic. We're done. Because I don't care what your other signs are. I don't care what your rising sign is. I don't care who's in Venus. I don't care who's in this house, who's in that house. At your core, you're a Scorpio. And that makes you a Scorpion to the spirit, total, and power animal world. And no matter how big a scorpion is, they're still not humongous like a Komodo dragon, but they're fierce and they're powerful and they don't take any nonsense. So I know I drifted off for a minute like I lost my mind, but I don't know any other way to get it across to you. You've been given such a gift in this reading, not because it's me telling you, but because the animal spirits sent to you a Komodo dragon for your tarot reading. Scorpio, on this January 2021, it is time to step into your seat of power. Go get you a kombucha, go get you a drink of some kind, and plop into that seat and just sit there for a few minutes and let yourself fill up with that Komodo dragon energy. And when you feel that start to thrum through you, then think, how can I improve myself and how can I help the world? How can I help myself and improve the world? Because that's what it's all about. Because why? Because that's the ultimate form of love. And that's the only thing you're interested in. If you boil it all down to brass tacks, you're just interested in the perfect love, giving it and receiving it. And Komodo Dragon can help you find the way. So, I hope that was helpful. Pick up your... Yeah, I'm not making fun of y'all because it's my reading too. Believe me, it was a tough pill to swallow when we were doing these, right? Okay, but nonetheless, pick up your copy of the Arc Tarot and Oracle deck. Please don't be a hater. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and every month get all your metaphysical needs met here. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, all your metaphysical needs met here. So, the most important thing you can do is to do what throughout this month and every day? Stay wild.